Pete Williams is back with us. He's got some news from the Supreme Court on those mandates. Pete, what do you have?
Well, the Supreme Court, as expected, I think, based on how the argument went, has blocked the Biden administration from enforcing the COVID restrictions on anybody, any business employing more than 100 people that said those people either had to be vaccinated or had to wear masks and get weekly tests. The Supreme Court here basically says the government did not have the authority to do that, but the Supreme Court, over the dissent of 4 justices, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, and Barrett, has agreed to let the government enforce the other COVID mandate that was imposed by the Biden administration that applies to about 20 million healthcare workers who work in facilities that treat Medicare or Medicaid patients and get federal funding. There, the court says that is a much more focused mandate. It's not as broad as the OSHA one. It doesn't suffer from the same defect. Now, of course, the issue here in both these mandates cases was the authority of the federal government. The Supreme Court has declined to block a number of mandates imposed by the states at Indiana University, healthcare workers in several states, teachers in New York, for example. But those involve the very different issue of state power to impose these kinds of public health measures. Those are all reserved to the states through the Constitution. The federal government has no standalone such powers known as police powers. So the question in these 2 cases is whether specific federal laws that govern OSHA and that govern HHS allow the government to do that. And as you hear, Katie, the Supreme Court has reached a sort of split here, saying no on the OSHA requirements. So they're now blocked, and yes on the HHS mandate. And the HHS mandate was in effect in about half the country. It was blocked in the other half of the states. So now the government can continue to enforce it in the entire country. But OSHA is now stopped in its tracks. And one other note here. These cases were not about whether these mandates or these requirements were legal or constitutional. It was simply about whether they should be put on hold while cases challenging them work their way through the lower courts. So that's the outcome that we have. No on the OSHA requirements, yes on the HHS requirement.